Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
Queen. Hey,
Hello, hello.
everyone.
How's it going?
Good, I'm good.
Hmm.
Welcome, everyone, to this day 6 of Global Hack Week. We are almost at the end of this amazing Cloud Week. Um, yes, Cloud Week from March. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Oh, you were
Welcome,
this
welcome.
hacker was at most of my streams. It was
Yeah?
nice. Yes.
So cool. That's so
Um,
cool.
we did
Yeah,
pretty
this
cool things.
yeah, this was your IoT simulation stream, right?
Yes, I mean, I had to cancel the second one, but I'm hoping I can do like a reschedule for the next Global Hack Week.
Mm,
What is the theme for the next Global Hack Week? Do you remember?
I think it's APIs. I'm pretty sure.
APIs. I mean, I think I can do something with IoT and APIs because it's
Yeah.
definitely related. Because I like doing hardware hacks for some of my
Mm,
streams. I think some other coaches are doing that as well, and that's exciting,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think there's some coming up tomorrow as well. Some interesting.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's get started with today in Global Hack Week so we can see everything that went on yesterday and what are we going to be doing today because we have some really exciting things coming up. But first of all, we want to introduce ourselves. Queen, you go first.
Hi everyone, I'm Quinn. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. This is the fun fact I've been telling everyone this week is that my name is Gaelic or Celtic, which is kind of Scottish or Irish, and it means wise. Because I get a lot of questions about my name, so I thought, I've got to tell the people what it means. And I also like R quite a lot, which I think again controversial maybe. Although I said this in the last day in Global Hack Week that I did, and the people kind of agreed with me, so that was unusual, I think. But yeah, that's me.
Great. I think you did you give a Tetris mini event, Queen?
Yeah, so I did a Tetris
Oh
mini event, and 404 and I lost together. Well, actually, 404 did very
no.
well. But I lost a lot. So we're grinding for the next Global Hack Week. So we're gonna be
Oh,
so good
that's
at
great.
Tetris.
I should join more mini events, especially Tetris one. I think that's a fun one.
Mm. It got competitive. It got Wei joined, and Wei is like a Tetris wizard.
I
So
know.
yeah, some impressive Tetris gaming.
Great. And now to introduce myself, I'm Jocelyn. I'm based in Mexico, and I'm also a coach here at Major League Hacking. Some of the things that I like to do is salsa dancing, especially on the afternoons after classes, so I can have time to chill down after all the stress from the day. I also collect Minecraft bee plushies or any plushies in general that are like animals. I love those. And if you want to talk to me about something random, you can talk to me either about keyboards, robotics, or neurotech. And I'm also a GitHub Campus expert in case you want to ask some questions about the program, and which basically means that I'm a big fan of the AutoCAD. I also have plushies from the AutoCAD because it's very nice. It's very cute. I just can't. The image of dancing with a bowl of salsa in hand. Oh yes, I remember you asked about the whether if salsa was related to like the actual like food from salsa. And, I mean, it's not related, but it's still the same word, so that's why it might be confusing.
Mm. Does it
It's
mean? Do
building
you
a
know what it means? Like salsa,
like
the word itself?
it's like a sauce.
Yeah, no, but if because it's a type of dancing as well, right? So does it have
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
like a deeper meaning that like relates to both, maybe?
Honestly, I haven't researched about it, but I think it's because it's like very like spicy. Like you
Okay,
move a lot, and so I think
yeah,
that's why it's called like that. But I'm not sure. I must research more so I
we'll
can
learn it.
answer
We'll
that
learn it for
question.
next time.
Great. Then we have a question for Moses. Is building a home recommendation system using IoT part two today. Sadly, I couldn't find a time to reschedule the stream for this day because I had some classes in the morning, so that's why I couldn't do it, and the schedule was already full. But I promise you, on the next Global Hack Week, I will have more hardware hacks prepared for you because it's something that I really enjoy doing. So it will be pending, and I owe you that. We have another question here. What is price of challenge build static website? Is that a challenge? I'm assuming that's a challenge from Google Hack Weeks. So it's not like having like direct prizes. It's more like the more challenges that you complete, the more points that you are earnings, which then could accumulate to earn you like some swag from Major League Hacking. We got salsa lore before you. Hopefully, hopefully. How to get into robotics as a computer science student? I think the easiest way is starting with the Arduino, and I think you will be interested in some of the streams that we got prepared for you today. We will give you the heads up when that stream comes up while we are presenting. Is Arduino today? Yes, it will be today, and we will tell you the exact time that it will be presented.
Cool.
Make a robot. I'm sorry, not an expert. Jocelyn could probably answer that. Make a robot. Well, yes, make a robot, but you first have to start with the basics, like turning on an LED light or like connecting a resistor or simple things. Queen, perhaps you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so I think it should tell you in the challenge description. I don't know that challenge like in particular. Normally, these kind of projects, I think they want you to submit a GitHub link.
Yeah.
So I would check what it says on the instructions for the challenge. But normally, I think it's a GitHub link.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have the link to the website, it's even better. Like you have the GitHub repository, and you also have like the link for your static website, so that should be good. And you need to submit the dev post. That's 100% true. We all have a Q&A at the end as oh
So
yes,
true.
yes.
So
I think
true.
we should get started before all the questions start coming by. Thank you for the heads up. So yesterday we have a few streams that were very interesting, and we also got to conclude some of the tracks. So the first thing that we did was set up a virtual machine using AWS. So I know for some of the developers, AWS can be kind of like blurry, and there's like a lot of things going on the dashboard, but very nice from Stephen, and he managed to explain how AWS services work really nice. And we were able to set up a virtual machine on the cloud, which is also very helpful if you want to run like your resources instead of running them like on your local computer.
Cool. So you also discovered different ways to run your app on the cloud. I think this was 3 different ways, and I think this is a part of a series as well. So check out the next one. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, 3 different methods to deploy your application to the cloud. And I think going through the pros and cons of each is a really great way to learn what's good for different situations.
Yes, and we then wrapped the Chrome extensions track, which was a very interesting one because you got to develop like a nice Chrome extension, and it was very nice. Because I have been to some hackathons where a lot of hackers ask about how to develop like a Chrome extension. I don't know why it's become like very popular, and it was very nice that we have this series of tracks that you can follow in case you want to publish your extension into the Chrome marketplace, which is very helpful. I mean, you can actually publish it and use it. Use it for personal purposes or school purposes. It doesn't matter. It's always nice to know about these kind of things, especially for people who are into JavaScript programming language.
So true. And on the note of IoT, we were discussing it earlier, but I think we had a stream. This was from Alberto on IoT. This was, I think, everything from real-time data processing to kind of remote control style stuff. So I think someone was asking about like an introduction to robotics, but I feel like this kind of thing is maybe interesting to you as well. So go back and watch this if you hadn't caught it, and check out. I think, is there another one coming up for this? We'll see. I'm not sure if there is. Maybe.
Yes, I think there's one coming up.
There's maybe one coming up, so you can check that out too. Awesome.
Yeah, so now for today, we have a lot of interesting streams, especially those who are interested into hardware. I think we have 2 coming up, and you can also visit the schedule, which is globalhackweek.mlh.io/schedule, to see like all of the hours in your time zone, which is also very helpful. And thank you for posting the link on the chat as well. So we're going to start right after with the Scribble mini event. So if you want to start like your morning, or perhaps if you want to chill down on the afternoon, depending on which time zone you are located at, you can join Lavenia at this mini event for Scribble. I love this mini game. I would say it's one of my favorite ones, just to see like all of the drawings and how bad I am at playing this. But you can join for some fun on the mini events channel on the Discord server.
Awesome. So, like we were just chatting about, Bully is doing, I think this would be a fairly intro level guide to electronics and Arduinos. So this is perfect if you want to get into robotics. That's at 3 p.m., Eastern time, or midnight IST. So a bit late for some, but if you're over in the US, maybe afternoon time. So kind of ideal. Cool.
Yeah, Bully also studies robotics as me, so I'm pretty sure you will learn a lot from him during this stream, especially at the intro level. He's very good at teaching. Then we have Alberto with introduction to GitHub Actions. So over here, he's basically going to show you how to run like workflows on the cloud. And GitHub Actions, that's what it does. It runs the workflows on the cloud, either if it's for automating something from your repository or running like unit tests. Alberto will show you, the good practices, the good coding practices for running GitHub projects on the cloud. So make sure to tune in at 5 p.m. ET or 2:30 a.m. IST if you are going for an all-nighter.
Awesome. So Bully's back with an introduction to deploying with Docker, specifically for AI. So this is containerizing your AI models. This is great for building portable, consistent, and scalable ways to deploy your applications. So that's at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 a.m. IST. So again, if you're pulling the all-nighter, it just keeps going. This is ideal, and should be a really great introduction to Docker, which is a universal tool. So head along to that.
Yeah. And then we're going to have Alberto again with IoT on Cloud Part 2. So over here, you will learn about some hardware stuff. I think on the past stream, you already learned to set up like the hardware, but now I'm pretty sure you're going to connect it with the IoT cloud. So with the internet, perhaps sending some info through an API. So if you want to continue working on that IoT project with Alberto, make sure to tune in at 9 p.m. ET or as an early bird at 6:30 a.m. IST.
Cool. And this is the final part to Shigar's series on different ways you can run your app in the cloud. Like I mentioned earlier, there are 3 different ways that we've been going through in this 3-part series, with pros and cons of each. So you'll complete the set in this stream. Head along 5 a.m. Eastern time, a nice early wake up, or 2:30 p.m. a leisurely afternoon in IST.
Yes, and at the end, we're going to have our famous closing ceremony to know about all of the cool projects that were built, some of the highlights, and we're going to wrap up with Cloud Week. So if you want to get some questions answered, or get some info about the challenges that were going on, also remember to send in your challenges at dev post or from the challenges page at MLH, so you can get your points checked in. And this will be happening at 12 p.m. ET, so exactly like 24 hours from now. So you still have one more day to enjoy Cloud Week. Great. So I think before we promote the Global Hack Week feedback, I think we can answer some questions from the chat first. So let's go back. So we have a question over here saying, what are your opinions about Raspberry Pi? Can we use it as a server or as a pocket computer, and how much load it could handle? Okay, this is an interesting question. So Raspberry Pi, depending on which Raspberry Pi model, I think the newest one that came up is like 5. I use the Raspberry Pi 4. And yes, you can use it as a server. I mean, it's not going to be that powerful as a computer because it doesn't have like, kind of like the powerfulness of like an actual computer. But if you use it like as a monitor and to run like the Linux kernel on it, you will be able to do some stuff. And you could also use it like as a server in order to access like remote services. I think depending on the model, I think it's like 4 gigabytes of RAM, depending on which one are you using. And also depending which project you're trying to do. At least for robotics projects, it will help you like 100%. So you will not have like any issue in there. Oh, and then 44 is saying that I have a Raspberry, love it. I can handle decent load, but won't recommend it for commercial service. Oh yes, definitely. If you are handling like I don't know, like more than 100 users, I mean it will probably have a lot of lag when you're trying to access it.
Any other questions coming in?
I think this is a continue from the question, like a small server from which we can access our resources. Oh yes, then that should definitely make it. If it's only like for personal use, it will definitely make it, as 44 says. Yes, totally doable. Awesome. So what else? So much hardware. Yes, because cloud has a lot to do with IoT, so that's why. Do you know if Billy will use Tinkercad or actual hardware? So I'm not very sure. But what I'm sure is that Billy will give you exactly the resources that you will need. So if you need hardware, then he's going to provide you with an alternative to it, or perhaps run a simulation as I did on my own stream. But you will know when the time comes. I'm not 100% sure about that. So. And then we have another project with hardware here. I use a Raspberry Pi Zero to make a wireless Android auto for my car. Oh, that's nice. Raspberry Pi Zero, it's kind of like it's very affordable, and it also handles like decent load. Will there be any event related to cybersecurity and pen testing for a whole week? No, this is Cloud Week, so we are only doing streams related to projects in the cloud, such as running like servers, running like instances in AWS, IoT, everything related to the cloud.
We had a question whether it might happen in the future. I think it's possible. I don't know if there are tons of people who do kind of cybersecurity type stuff for the various global hack weeks. Do you know if there's a themed cybersecurity week at some point? I'm not sure there is.
I don't think there's one.
Yeah.
At least from the time that I've been in MLH as hacker and coach, I haven't seen like cybersecurity.
So I think it's unlikely. I think it's unlikely that it would have this kind of thing. And remember, it's hacking in the sense of like hacking together a project, not in the sense of breaching cybersecurity. So
yes, exactly.
That's not really
a very good point.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. They actually made a tool to scrape links resources from all the MLA chat and then stored in a Google Sheet, and they hosted that on a Raspberry as a server. Ah, that's very nice. That's a very cool project. I will actually watch this stream. Like I like that. That's very helpful. Cool. Oh, so for saying there was one, I think, wow. 2023, but yeah, no more. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, it should probably be like on the YouTube channel. I haven't searched like old streams, but it should be there if it was recorded.
Awesome. I also just wanted to say that if you haven't checked in yet, I've just popped the link in the chat again. So definitely make sure you check in. If you check into enough events, you get extra swag. So definitely make sure.
Yes, for your points. We forgot to mention that at the beginning, but well, better to mention it now. Okay, so I mean, I don't think there are any more questions. So if you are thinking about more questions, first, it will help us a lot if you could fill out this feedback form for Global Hack Week, and tell us how we did. What would you like us to improve, or what would you like to see on next Global Hack Weeks? We will be very much appreciate if you could fill out this feedback form, because it help us both coaches and streamers and MLH in general. So yes, Queen already dropped in the link on the chat. It will just take you like about 5 minutes or less to join, to fill out the feedback form if you haven't done it before. We have a question here. Tomorrow is my first interview, kind of, with a founder. Any tips? So if it is behavioral, I think you are going to ace it, because it's just explaining your experience and like your past projects. And if it is more like technical, I think technical interviews with founders in kind of like startups, they ask you more. They perhaps will ask you like a small lead code question, but they will also ask you more about like technical knowledge, depending on the role that you are going to be playing like on the startup. Because I've had interviews like that where they ask you like, oh, like what are the different methods that you can do with an API, or what those like 200 means, or things like that, you know. More of like technical questions. I did a task for them and they love it. Oh, then you
That's
should
so
have a
cool.
very good very good how do you call it, advantage on that, on getting that job position.
100%. Sounds great. Really exciting times. Cool.
Great. So
Awesome.
I don't see any more questions or comments on the chat. So I think we are ready to wrap up. If there are not any more questions or comments, remember that we have closing ceremony tomorrow in about 24 hours. Moises joined again to say hi. Hi.
We've had
So
a
hi.
question from 404 as well. If you couldn't do CS, what career would you pick? Do you know
So
what you'd pick?
I don't
Oh, I
do
mean,
CS.
you do robotics, right? So yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I technically don't either, right? So
oh my god, really? What do you
well,
study?
I do mostly maths. I do some CS, but mostly maths.
Ah,
Um,
so it's kind of like CS
so
with more like intense math.
yeah, I mean, I do like some of the AI stuff, and like a lot of
Um,
statistics.
that's
So, oh,
nice.
okay, nothing to do with technology. I see.
Oh,
Mm,
okay.
nothing at all.
Probably kind of
Ooh.
like law enforcement, something like that. I used to go to like these
Mm,
events. I don't know if that's in the whole world, but I used to go to these like model United Nations events where you get to simulate like what the United Nations was, and you got to present like your position paper, like with the poster of like your country that you picked. So I think I would probably be something
mm,
about like international lawyer, something like that. I don't know.
yeah. I think I'd be similar. Maybe like governance or like regulation, that kind of thing. I
Ooh.
think is quite. But I think I don't know. I think it's quite cool. But then like some of that does overlap with technology a bit. So maybe I'm not answering the question.
No. We have this question, make an aluminum. Oh my god, I'm literally seeing that on my digital systems class, and it's very intense. Like I would never imagine like all of the technology that's behind, like I don't know, like RAM, like ROM, and the CPU. All of that is just like it's just like logic gates with like zeros and ones, and we are literally like configuring like the zeros and ones that go into like the memory register, and it's I mean it's fun, but it's also very complex. So like seeing your message is like, oh my god.
Mm,
Oh, a
wow.
question for you, Quinn.
Oh, in your opinion, does AI engineer and data science work? Does that get taken by AI in the future? I think, I mean, my personal opinion is that data science work probably, especially if it's kind of simpler data analysis, visualization, data exploration, probably. If you're talking like AI engineer from a perspective of more like deployment and like ops side of things, like ML ops, maybe some of it. I think it's unlikely that these kind of roles will be taken entirely by AI. But certainly like the number of roles I think will be reduced, and I think the remaining engineers will be more like kind of architects organizing AI agents and things. That's my opinion. But I think we'll see. It depends. It depends. But yeah, I think there's a good
Well,
chance certainly like the easier stuff, like data science. Yeah, probably.
what's the official name of your career? Like the title, like what's it called?
But I'm still a student, so do you mean like what career I want to go into?
So you're in high school.
No, I'm at university, or like I don't know what the US equivalent is,
Oh,
like
but because
college.
in Europe it's like different, right? Like when
Uh
you go to university, like you have to prepare like kind of like 1 year, and then you actually go into like the career itself. Or I don't know if I'm wrong.
no, not normally. I mean, you can do like placement years while you're doing your degree, but I'm just doing like a 4 year master's degree, so it's got like 3 years of the bachelor's
Oh, okay,
and then a
okay.
final year. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you have a kind of like a you're kind of like in the main track, and then you actually get to focus like on your career, right?
Um, not like really. It's pretty theoretical. I mean, it depends what university you're at. Like, so some of them, like Bath University, if you've heard of Bath, maybe not. They always have like these placement years, so you do go and work at a company, but you don't have to. So yeah, it depends. It depends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then it sounds good.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we should wrap up for the mini
Mhm.
event that's coming up. I think we have one more follow-up for you.
Yeah. So Bath is a city in the UK, in England. Yeah. It's called that because they've got Roman baths from when the Romans invaded in, I don't know, long time ago, hundreds of years ago. So they had these big Roman baths, and so it's called a bath. Yeah. It's a little history
Then
lesson.
you are into history. Yes.
I mean, I'm not really. I don't know. I just think like Bath is a really cool city in the UK. So
Oh, I see. We have another hardware question here. I have a class about
mm,
electronics, and I have a homework problem for do we know that controls the LED with ambient light? You have any ideas? I mean, then you should only plug in like probably resistor, probably an LED or the light bulb, and your power source. So there should be a lot of examples online if you try to look up for the circuit. Never mind, my joke sounds offending now.
don't worry. I think you're fine. It's good. I mean, I think there are lots of jokes made about Bath. UK place names are like pretty funny in general. So yeah, yeah.
Oh well. I think we are ready to
Cool.
wrap up. Thank you everyone
Yeah.
for joining me and Queen on this today in Global Cat Week Day 6.
Mhm.
And make sure to tune in tomorrow for the closing ceremony to
Yeah.
see all of the cool projects that you built and also final messages from our directors.
Yeah. It's been so good
Great.
to have you all. Good luck with the last 24 hours.
Yes. Bye
Awesome. All right.
everyone.
Bye.